Well, hello, welcome to I Love Gay Today, sponsored by GayRealEstate.com. And we are here with one of my favorite online content creators, personalities. We're here with Jorge Gallegos. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I have enjoyed, yeah, I think you create amazing content, and you're one of those that you put it on a lot of different platforms. So, for years, I've seen you, especially with some of the work you were doing in New York and fashion. But I loved your posts.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just like super creative and I'm always, like kind of like just posting whenever I can, whenever I want, and just creating the content that I want. And people seem to like it. So I just keep continuing doing that and expressing myself through those things.
Yeah, well, you do it well, and
Thank
but
you.
your business side, I know from your website and so forth. Queer Latinx content creator, DJ, and travel blogger. So that covers a lot. But yeah, tell us a little bit about even like how you got started in all this.
Yeah, so it's funny, I was born and raised in Mexico. I went to school for graphic design, and then I just kind of like, like knew that I wanted to live in the US, so I just kind of like make it happen. And then I was just like, like going to gay bars with a camera, taking photos, putting it on a Tumblr when that was a thing back in the day. And then I was at this party here in Dallas. It was a circuit event, and there was this people from Guy Spy, the app. I don't know if you remember them,
I do.
but
I knew them. They're from Canada, I think, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. So they were doing their first marketing activation here in Dallas, and like I was volunteering at this party because I didn't have money to pay for the ticket. So you could volunteer, work for a few hours, and then you like get to stay at the party.
Yeah.
So I just took my camera, I started taking pictures of their booth or them doing their thing, and then after that we kind of exchanged info, and later they asked me for my pictures of that night, and a few weeks later they offered me a job as their social media manager, and that's how I kind of like basically became a social media,
Yeah.
specialist.
Yeah. I love hearing that. But then later you moved to New York though, right?
Yes, so I was living in Dallas, and then that job with them took me to New York to the Gay Expo. Remember that LGBTQ Expo that was at the
At the
Travis
Javits
Center?
Center.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were presenting 1 year, and that took me there, and I just kind of like never left after that. There were so many opportunities for me to kind of like act as a brand ambassador for the app that I just made it happen and just moved to New York.
Wow, it's kind of crazy. I probably went to that event every year. I used to have a booth, or I used to know the folks that produced it, but our paths could have crossed back then, and we if we had if
Yeah.
you just known.
Yeah, I know, right? We've been running the same circles for a long time.
We have, but no, and then recently you were working also with dot gay, and you were like you got hired to kind of like take a lot of their work and bring it to the forefront.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, last year I started working with dot.gay as their social media, as their content marketing specialist. And, like that worked out really well. Like I had a really good run with them, basically to cover their socials, created this strategy, acted as their in-house content creator, started doing a bunch of content for, video content for Instagram Reels and for TikTok, and we also did some like in-person events, and it worked really well. I had a great time with them. They were a great company. Unfortunately, they sold the domain to GoDaddy Registry, and the new company didn't needed my services. So, but yeah, I'm like super proud of what we did, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, I could tell. I remember seeing the work over the years online from that as well. But you moved
Yeah.
back to Dallas, right? So you were in New York, but now you're back in Dallas, and you've been kind of creating a lot of this and a lot of your development from that point of view now.
Yeah, so like back in 2016, I moved to Dallas, and I was kind of like between back and forth in New York until up into the pandemic, and then I just kind of like stay over here. And then after 2020, I started to travel a lot to LA. So now I go to LA more often than I go to New York, but I still love New York.
Yeah. Is that because of your world of fashion? Does that keep you both in LA and New York?
Yeah, a little bit like fashion, a little bit of like music. Like I learned how to DJ during the pandemic,
Yeah.
and I got into I'm like super into house music. My friends in LA are super into house music, so anytime there's a big artist and DJ coming into town and I have the opportunity to go and like see them with them, like I go with my friends and then I plan to create content around, being in LA or being in New York depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's the stuff I've been seeing recently because I know I saw some of your content when you were in New York, and but that's what's interesting is that and that's where you also kind of get into the world of travel and so much as well. But you seem to kind of straddle those lines between just sort of being yourself and putting your own, your own life into that, but also you're looking at from fashion, travel, and you're putting that together, and you're putting like a nice, unique package, I think, together that clients, I'm guessing, would be very interested in.
Yeah, thank you. Like before the pandemic, I really had like a super strong strategy for my socials. Like I had a schedule, I had content buckets. I was like super organized. I felt like I finally figured out like what was I doing as a content creator. And then the pandemic just happened, and like I was like relying a lot of the travel content
Yeah.
before the pandemic, and then just that just kind of stopped. So, after like the pandemic was like a time for me to kind of like reconnect with myself, like did a lot of like journaling, I got into meditation, and I just kind of like started creating content around my house with the things that I had available. And the thing that I had available the most was my underwear. So I just started like shooting a bunch of like content in underwears and things, like I'm like genuinely interested in that.
Yeah.
And people, like really seem to like it. So I just continue to, kind of like develop that aspect
Yeah.
after the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, you should. It's interesting because I know you've gone to Pride festivals as well. Palm Springs just had their Pride festival, I think, last weekend, and
Yeah.
but because you're in the world of travel, do you know IGLTA, the International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association? And
Yes, I do know them.
yeah, and they're having their convention in 2025 in Palm Springs. So
Oh, really? Oh,
and
that will be fun. I love Palm Springs. I've done Palm Springs Pride, I don't even know how many times, and
yeah,
it had like really fun, well, kind of fun, but like crazy, stories about like spending Pride weekend there, and also my birthday because my birthday is actually today.
wow,
So whenever I go to Palm Springs for Pride, it's also
yeah.
to celebrate my birthday because it's usually the weekend before my birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Muchas gracias.
I know. I love hearing that. But no, IGLT is near and dear to my heart. So that's one of those things I will revisit this conversation with you and see if I can talk you. I'm definitely going to be there, but I work with Palm Springs tourism department as far as some of their LGBT promotions. So I very much am looking forward to kind of pulling all that together.
Oh yes, please let me know. I love Palm Springs. I worked with Santiago Resort a couple
Yeah.
of times. They're lovely people. Actually, if you sign up to the newsletter, you'll see my little ass sitting on the edge of the pool on their newsletter. So, you know.
I love that. Anything exciting on the horizon between now and the New Year's right around the corner as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm focusing right now on like applying for jobs and kind of like getting ready for the new year. I have a party coming up on Friday with some friends,
Wow.
and I'm applying all my creative energy into that. I'm like doing props. I love doing, a theme party. So I need to plan my outfit. I need to plan the photo booth. I have like all these things. Even
Wow.
though it's like a small gathering because I didn't really plan it. Like
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that really goes out, for their birthday. Like in 2020, that's when I launched my brand as a DJ.
Okay.
So, I invited friends to come to my apartment. I had a photographer. I did a DJ set. Everybody came in their outfits. They looked amazing. We had a great time.
I can tell. I look forward to when you're either when I'm back in Dallas and we get to hang out or you're up here in the New York area. I'd love to meet in the real world. Well, we've met, but
Yeah, we need
more
to
than
hang
just
out
shaking
and
hands.
party.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
exactly.
We need to go and have a drink.
I would love that. So no, mostly thank you so much for kind of taking a few moments of your time and share a bit of your story with our audience here.
Yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to share my story.
Yes, and we'll see you soon.
Yes,
And it feels
bye.
good, so good.